Alina was masterful even when she wasn't trying. The two girls were the same height and close to the same weight, but where Alina's weight was in her curves, Phina's was mostly in her muscles. Her body had become very toned from climbing all over the space station and exercising, so any curves she had were more like definitions of her muscles. Phina wasn't jealous about Alina's looks or the attention she got. In fact, she was relieved when attention was diverted from her. Phina preferred to be overlooked so she could do her own thing, usually something she didn't want others to notice anyway. Of course, if Phina ever did find that mythical, extremely talented and interesting man, she might change her mind. She didn't give that scenario very good odds, however. After a wrong turn past the men on duty, they finally made it into the Marines and Guardians workout area. Phina had poked Alina again after entering to remind her not to squeal. They were Marine recruits today, not fangirls. Posing as recruits was the only method Phina had been able to think of to get the two of them into this restricted room. It was a struggle, but Alina did keep the squeals inside, although her eyes grew wider. There were so many tall, strong, and attractive men in various positions and locations on the mats and workout equipment. There were women in the room, too, but Alina's eyes lingered on the men. To her delight, their muscles were exposed, and many had their shirts off, per Alina's hopes. Phina sighed inside since she didn't understand her friend's obsession, although she was happy that she had helped Alina's wish come true. After being greeted and ushered over to an open mat by Todd, the tall and overly muscled man had asked the question Phina now considered. She looked at Alina, who appeared to be torn between being thrilled to be in the secured room, leering at the men working out across the room, and being terrified she would be called on first. Phina pursed her lips, then looked at the man in front of them, noticing the neatly trimmed crew cut. "I will." She might as well give Alina a few more minutes before they were found out and escorted out of the area. Alina wasn't equipped for any sort of sparring. As Alina liked to say, her sport came with shopping bags and a credit card. Todd moved to the middle of the mat and gestured for Phina to follow. She faced the large man and copied his stance, bringing her arms up and fisting her hands. It felt awkward. Todd's face had turned assessing and distant, and his blue eyes probably saw more than Phina wanted him to. She didn't know what to do next, so she just waited. He sent his fist toward her head. Without thinking, Phina flung herself back as muscle memory took over, hands reaching behind her for the mat. She completed a back extension roll and popped up several feet from where she had started. Phina braced herself for another blow before she realized Todd just stood watching her with a look of surprised interest on his face. She quickly decided his interest wasn't a good thing when he leaned forward and swept her feet with a low kick. Phina almost didn't make it, but she jumped higher and more quickly than he expected. Than she had expected, for that matter. Her eyes darted around as she rose in the air, and she found the perfect spot to go next. She moved her foot forward to vault off Todd's head, but he grabbed at her ankle. His hand had only just slipped off when she flipped. His quick grab had stalled her motion, though, so instead of landing on the floor behind him, she landed half on his back, pushing him down a little more. She had been lucky to complete the rotation. Realizing she needed to get off before he recovered, Phina flung herself into an aerial somersault and twisted so she landed facing her opponent rather than away from him. She sighed in relief that she had been able to complete the move, since it was tricky to jump off a shifting and precarious base. From the corner of her eye, she saw Alina smiling and looking amazed. Then Phina noted the sudden quiet in the room. She had a feeling all those eyes were now looking in her direction, not resting on Alina as had been her plan. Phina nervously assessed Todd as he straightened after her hasty move. His face appeared surprised, curious, and determined. Uh-oh. Fudging piles of... Todd moved even faster to close the distance, and her body barely responded in time. Somehow she blocked the strike to her face with crossed arms. Though it hurt so badly, she wondered if he had broken something. She failed to block the following punch to her belly and slammed onto the floor several feet away. Fudge in a bucket. As Phina lay on the mat, catching her breath, and wishing she had thought to train herself in martial arts as well as the spy...